Hi guys, it's Chastity Child. As you can see, I'm clearly not on my couch, but I am out and about. And this topic, I overheard someone speaking about it this morning, although I'd heard it a couple times throughout the week. I was taking a walk. I went to run the morning errands, and I said, well, I want to weigh in on this because I've had a personal experience with a Jamaican man and the way that they are and the hostility that some of them display towards women. It's really bad. My point is, let me tell you where my point is regarding this and where my stand is. My stand is here. We're concerned about the killing when it results in a child, two and one unborn child being murdered, and the mother. However, why do we allow the men to beat the women to the point where they could even get that bold to take out her entire household? Why? Why is it a upsetting factor when the unborn child and the children that she had are murdered? Why are we not taking into consideration the fact that this woman was clearly being abused much prior to this incident that happened? So, talking about the abuse that women are subjected to and how far it can go, we fail to accept that and admit that we are in an age where a lot of men that are frustrated are taking out this frustration on the women. And does it have to become a situation where he slaughters the whole household before people begin to pay attention to this? When are we going to stand up and say, no, abuse of women is not acceptable? It's as though you're saying, okay, it's okay to eat your young. Because if you really think about it, the wife is supposed to be protected by the husband. So how is it that someone that is supposed to be protected is being violently slaughtered? And sometimes the slaughter is not just physical. Sometimes the slaughter is also verbal, mental. And people don't realize what it's like to be a victim of any form of abuse until it impacts you or someone close to you or a child. But my thought process is this: let's take the woman into consideration before anyone could get that bold to feel confident in taking out her young. We should never have allowed in Jamaica, and I'm speaking to you because I was there and I was victimized by my husband, whom was my childhood boyfriend, who I went there to help out and married him. This man had become a madman, and he would get away with it because there's no police system to call in Jamaica. The man is going to be, oh, okay, well, you know, and that's the end of that. However, I divorced this man, and I divorced him because I was not going to be anybody's victim, just me alone, and I didn't have any children with him. So what my point is that if we would take into consideration the fact that the women are being abused casually in Jamaica, casually. They're being slaughtered. They're being popped in the face by men. They're being beat down, attempted chokings. I mean, it is a common mannerism for Jamaican men to be bold and abusive to their women. And it has to stop there. And then if you stop it there, then you can proceed to go up and deal with the fact that there will be people that will comfortably take out their young. Yes, they will. Because if they don't respect the mother, why do you expect them to respect the young? They won't. They won't. And that means that we have to make sure that we come together on one accord and say, you put your hands on her? And why do we have to beg? Why do we have to make a resounding noise to be protected? It's not good. It's not good. And if a man has a mother who's ever been abused or violated in any way, that alone should be a main reason why he makes up his mind and decides that he would never do that to his own. But if a man could get that comfortable, that he would literally turn around and not only harm her, but also take out the whole household, it's really not good. Are we women that dispensable? Do we mean that little to men, that it doesn't matter how badly you assault us, mentally or physically? Are we that minute to you men that not only would you take us out, but in your rage of anger, you would literally take out a whole lineage, your whole lineage? It's really sad. And as I heard the men commentators talking about it, they talked about, oh, how could you do that? How could you? And they went on and they went on. But I started to think to myself, well, if we would have snipped it at the root, if, pardon me, abuse, I'm sorry, you guys, these flies are out here again. You guys, I'm in Mississippi. Oh, it's right there. And my office is around the pollen is really strong in the air. Had we snipped it in the bud, had we stopped this violence against women, had we stopped it, and women, we're not clean from it as well. When the police come, you need to file a charge against him. You cannot, once somebody takes your life, you cannot give it back to yourself. Are you Christ? When somebody discerns that you matter that little to them, that they are willing to harm you, at what point is Lady Common Sense, Lady Wisdom gonna, he could hurt me, he could kill me? There's nothing wrong with fighting for your marriage, and nobody, at least myself, I cannot say that I didn't fight for mine. And I cannot tell you or blame any other woman who discerns that they need to do that. But what I can say is that you need to pray for wisdom. You need to pray for knowledge, because common sense is something that, look, if it's hot right there and the fire is on the stove and it's burning hot, I am not going to put my hand on that. Why? Because it's common sense. As Maya Angelou poignantly says, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. And if a man is comfortable putting his hands on you once, he'll put his hands on you twice. And if he gets bold enough, he will take out your entire household. Look what happened to Emily B the other day. Her fabulous wanted to take out her brother, and her papa. He was bold in his conviction about the stronghold he had over her life. He was that confident that he felt comfortable stepping up to her father and her brother and telling them they had a bullet with their name on it. And this is going on in America, the city of the protected. And then she appears at Coachella with him as though nothing happened. What a slap in the face to her dad and her brother and every other man that has stood up for a woman. So women, we're not free from any charges against this as well. We've got to wisen up. We just got to wisen up as a whole. And then these things certainly would not comfortably and casually happen.